In this video, I'm going to show you how to create this Mind Kong photo manipulation in PS Touch. So without any further ado, let's get started. Alright, we're back again. So this might be a pretty more advanced and long tutorial, but I hope you're going to get something from it. So let's get started. So we'll be starting with a project size of about 1920. Okay, let's go with 1280 by 720. I think this will work, and just click OK. Alright, so what we're going to do, going to keep on adding our image. So we're going to click right here, click here, photo layer, and click on photo library as well. So I'll start off with this image. So I'll click on it, then click add. I think I'm going to position it right somewhere here. And once I'm done, I can go ahead and click OK. So now what we want to do is to remove the background. So what we're going to do is to select our quick selection tool and just brush around. I think I'm going to make the size bigger. Just brush right here. Alright, I guess we have selected the background. Now we're going to clear it. So you click right here and then click clear, like so. So now what we want to do, we want to deselect this selection. So we deselect it, and yeah, I think this place look too straight, so let's just go ahead and curve it out a little. Click on lasso selection tool, just draw like a zigzag line and come over here and click clear. I think this one looks better. So before, after, definitely looks better. So let's just deselect it. So click right here and then click deselect. Now I'm going to add in the Kong, the gorilla image. So click right here, we click here, photo layer and photo library. So to save some time, I've already removed the background. So let's just go ahead and add it. Alright, so I'm just going to make it a bit smaller. I think, yeah, this could work. Done. So let's remove this portion. So click right here, use your eraser tool and make the brush really smaller. So you just want to brush like so. So I make it a bit bigger. Alright. So just clear this part from it. Yeah, I think we are good to go. So I want to put it at the middle. So let's just click on this cliff, transform. I think this is the middle, right? Done. So we'll do the same thing with the gorilla. So click right here, transform, put it right at the middle, like so. Then you click on done. So we have not started matching any colors yet, but we are going to do just that. So I just want to add the wings so I can see how the composition is going. So I just click on the cliff layer, add a new photo layer from photo library, and yeah, this is the wings we're gonna be using. So click on it and click add. Okay. So alright, let's try and resize the image a bit. Come over here, click on Kong, click right here and transform. So let's make him a bit smaller. Okay, let's go back to the wings, transform it again. I think I'll make this one smaller as well. So now I think it fits. Sure. Maybe I made it too small. So feel free to go back and do some changes. Okay. Alright, let's just leave it like this. I think this is not bad either. So you click on done. And now let us apply a background. So you click right here, go to the bottom layer, click on this icon and photo layer from photo library. So I'll start up with this image. Click on add. Okay. So I think I'll make this a little bit bigger. Okay. Just leave it right here. Done. So we're going to remove the sky. We don't need this sky, so let's just go click on quick selection tool and just click and drag around the sky areas. Okay, and then click right here and then clear. So now let's go ahead and add the original sky which we want. So you click right here, click on the bottom layer, which is this empty layer, click right here, add a photo layer from photo library. So this is the sky I want to use, so I'll just click add. So I'm going to flip it because the light is coming from the left, so okay. I think I can leave it right at this point, then click on done. Okay, so take a look at this place. They are showing some feed. We don't want that. So to fix that, let's click on our marquee selection tool, which is this one. So we're just going to draw a rectangle, put it somewhere at the middle of the light. Then after that, we click right here and then transform. So you're going to click on extra and make sure lock aspect ratio is turned off. As you can see, make sure it's showing this icon. Alright, so what we want to do, we want to drag the bottom like so. And as you can see, we just get rid of that horizon line. So you click on done. That's how easy it is, pretty much. Okay, so now what we want to do, well, yeah, I would like to take this rock to the left side. So to do that, I'm going to click on the quick selection tool. So we're going to drag around it. I'll make sure you're on the rock layer. So I'll make the brush a bit smaller. So you're going to click and drag around it. So we selected some unwanted areas, we don't want that. So let's change the mode like so, and let's try and fix that. Okay, so let's refine this, maybe it will look better. So click right here and refine edge. So okay, I think it looks better. Click on done, and then click right here, click here, and then layer from selection. That's good. Done. So we can deselect it now. Click on deselect. So I'm click right here, click on transform, I'll flip it to the X. So I should make it a bit bigger, I think. Let's go ahead and off the aspect ratio. Okay, I don't think this one is bad. I think I can take it. Done. That's beautiful. So click right here, click on the rock layer, which is the background rock, which is this one. So add an empty layer above it. Done. Then go to gradient. So gradient right here. So click on this icon, make sure it's a linear gradient and it's going from one color to another, and this color should be 0% opacity. So let's change the first color to red. Let's give it red as well. So I'm going to take it to the bottom like so. I think it's a bit too red, so let's add some orange to it like so. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. That's look better. So just position it right like so. Not bad. Click on done. So this is the before and the after. So we'll do the same thing for this one. We'll add an empty layer above it. Done. Click right here and go to the same gradient. Okay, this is looking cool. Click on done. I think I need to reduce this image a bit. Alright, I think this one is good enough or not. I don't know. So before, after, before. Let me try again. Okay, let's just leave it like this. Okay, let's leave it like this. So we'll do the same thing for this cliff as well. So add an empty layer and we go to gradients as well. Okay, I'm gonna make this one a bit shorter. Alright, done. So let's try and blend in that landscape to the background, which is to the sky. So let's go to this one. We'll click right here. So click on curves. So let's make it so we can see. So I'm going to take it a bit to the top to give it a fade out look. Since it's in the background, it should be a bit more closer to the color of the sky. So I think the sky has a little bit of red and a lot of yellows. Like so. Done. So this is the before and here's the after. Not bad. So let's try blend this one a bit. So this one is a bit closer. So it's not going to be as washed out as the background one. So click right here and then curves. So I'm just going to undo this one and just give it our own. So take it a bit to the bottom. No, take it to the top. Alright, take this one. We just want to give it a little bit of a fade out look, but not as the one in the background. So we'll go to the reds. I think I'll add a bit of red to it. And same thing, reduce the blue, which means adding yellows to it. And yeah, I think this one looks fair enough. So I'm just going to click on done. And now, I think I'm going to add one rock just at this part. So let's click right here. Make sure you are behind this layer, so click at the bottom layer. Okay, so I'll click at this one, click right here, add a photo layer from photo library. So I want to use this image, so click on it and click add. So I just only want this rocky part of it. Okay, so I'm just going to select it like so. Just select around it. Select a bit of the outside to prevent some kind of edge. I don't know if you have experienced that, but so click right here and clear like so. So like we did before, so let's first of all deselect this. We are going to make it blend kind of with the background. So let's do that. I'm thinking I should take this cliff to the bottom a bit, this background rock image to the bottom a bit. So now let me lock. Okay, I'll leave it. I think right here look better. So before, after. I think I'm going to add in the sky again because I scale it too much. So let's try and scale it less. So click on the sky again. I'm going to flip it like so. Just Okay, so just as we did before, click right here on marquee selection tool. Just select this area, click on transform, click on extra, lock aspect ratio, then you can drag independently. Just click on done. So this is the after and here's the before. As you can see, I scaled this one too much compared to this one, so I'll just get rid of this one and turn this one back on. Alright, let's go back to this rock. So let's blend it down. I think I want to desaturate it first of all to remove this original color. So once desaturated, I'll click on adjustment, curves, going to undo it. This one looks really bright, so we want to darken it like so, just a bit, not too much. I think somewhere like this will work. Let's go to reds. I think I'm going to add a lot of red to it. Same thing with yellows, but I want to add more reds to it. Should I darken it a bit? Okay, let's assume this is fine. Just click okay, or maybe I want to. Okay, let's take this and click OK. So this is the before, here's the after. And now let's add a foreground rock to it. So I know we haven't blended this yet. Okay, let's try and blend that first. So click right here, curves. Since this one is a bit closer to the front, so it should have more contrast. Not too much, but it should be more contrasted than the ones behind them. So of course we're going to give it some reds and yellows. Go back to red. I think I'll add some reds at the shadows. I think so. You want to be careful when doing this. Well, you can always come back, though this is a destructive edit, but that's okay. So I think I'm good with this one, so I'm going to click on OK. Before, after. So don't worry, we're going to blend this gorilla and the wings, but I want that to be the last thing in our list. And so what we want to do again, okay, yes, we want to add a foreground element. So you click on the above layer, which is this guy. You click right here and add a photo layer from photo library. So this is the image I want to use. Click on it, then click add. So I want it to be at the side, so I'll flip it. So let's try and remove the background first. So this one is going to be easy since it's a plain color. So what you want to do is to click here and select your magic wand tool. Just tap once at the background, and as you can see, it has selected it for us. So you can play with it all around sometimes, but I think this one just worked. So I'll just click at outside again to prevent those unwanted edges. So you click right here, you clear it, and of course you deselect it. Alright, so I'll go back to my magic marquee selection tool because I don't want to select some parts mistakenly. So click right here, transform, going to put it right here. Right here is not bad. Okay, so let's undo it. Let's do it again. Maybe somewhere right here. I think. Okay, this might work. Click on done. So let's go to saturation. I just click right here. Let's go to saturation. I'm going to reduce it for sure. Click on done. Go to curves. What am I clicking? So you click right here and go to curves. Going to undo everything. So since this one is closer to the camera, we are going to make it a lot darker, and should I say contrasty? Well, let's make it a lot darker. Okay, let's give it some colors. So you click on the red, going to increase the red, click on blue, reduce the blue to give it some yellow. Now I think I will want to darken it even more. I don't think this one is bad. Okay, let's take this one. So click on done. So here's the before and the after. So I want to duplicate this. Just duplicate it. Click on the bottom one, transform it, and I'll flip it to the side. Then make it something like this. Okay, click on done. So you can customally make this look vary. So I just clear it out. Now it doesn't feel like the same thing anymore. So I'll add an empty layer above it so I can separate it from this one, and the gradient stuff. Make this one. Okay, I think this one is cool. Click on done, and now let's go ahead and blend in this guy. So to do that, we'll click on him, of course. Where is he? Okay, let's start with this guy. So let's turn off the wings. Alright, so let's go to adjustment, click right here and click on curves. So this, you may not get it the first time, you can always come back and try to blend it again. So I think I will have to darken it at this point. Or is it too dark? And let's go to the reds, increase the reds, and same thing for the yellows. So go to the blue and reduce the yellow, reduce the blue, because when we reduce blue, we are simply adding yellows. So let's go to this again. This could take some practice. I think I'll darken it right here. This does take a lot of time. Okay, let's just say this one is okay enough. So we'll click on done. So this be the before and the after. So what you want to do, you can do some dodging and burning. So to do that, you click right here and you click on Effect Paint Tool. So what I love to do is to click on Effect, click on Curves. Okay, so I'll just click OK, and at the brush I'll reduce the size a bit and just brush around the dark part to darken it. Just brush around them like so. Then get this part as well. So I'll darken this one too. And also some of the chest. I think I want to click on brush, increase the size, reduce the flow and opacity. Darken it. I think this size is too big. No. So let's go back to effect, click on the curve again. So just darken this part. Since the light is coming from behind them. Okay. I think this one is cool. Now we want to blend in the wings. But before we do that, I think we should add the highlight first. Or shouldn't we? Okay, let's go ahead and blend in the wings. Okay. So we'll go into adjustments. Let's undo this one. So since this wing is really bright, I think I'm going to make it a lot darker to blend with the skin. I think I'm making it too dark. So let's add some colors to it. Let's see. I think it started getting shape. Okay, started feeling a bit blending. Let's take this one down. Okay. I think it started to look a bit more interesting. So I'll click on done. And this is our before and here's the after. Looks a lot better, right? So I really like this blue stuff going on at the sky, and I would love to enhance it even more. So to do that, we click right here, click on the sky. We're going to duplicate it, done, and click right here on effects, click on stylize, and then threshold. So play with the threshold until you see this, the blue stuff is coming from there, until you see it come out a bit, I think like so. And you can smoothen it a bit. I think it's too much. You can go back to threshold again. So I only want the blue part. This other bright side are the sunlight from the sky. We don't want that, but we have no option. So we are going to erase it after we are done with this. Okay. So we only want the highlights, we don't want the shadow. So let's take down this for color 0. Right from here, we'll select a blue. I think this blue will work. Then and click OK. So before, after. So let us remove this color, this blue, from the sunlight. Click on eraser, make the size bigger. Just erase it from here. We don't want it here. Erase it for some part right here as well. So it's right where we want it, which is in the sky. So to enhance this color, let's change the blend mode. Let's try overlay, or maybe linear dodge. Yeah, I think. So this is the before and here's the after. As you can see, it brings out the blue a lot. So let's reduce the strength, which is the opacity, so it still look amazing. So now let's add some highlights. I'll start with the subject and then I'll go to the rock, which is the cliff is standing on. Okay, so click right here, click on him, so duplicate it, done. Then go to adjustment, brightness / contrast, reduce the brightness so it can be 100% black, done. After that, you change the blend mode to linear dodge, and let's go to effects, basic, click on bevels. So change the angle, so about 0 degree, and pick a color, which is the color from the sky. I don't want to use too bright one. I'm going to pick a bit orangey one. Okay, so you can play with the blur. I think I'll work with 4, also with the distance. Okay, so done. So I'm going to erase it from this part. The wings must be covering it right there. I think this part too. I want to add a light, some highlight around the whole leg area. So we only have it at the head. So now let us add the other one, we want to add it to the hand as well. So click right on lasso selection tool and we just draw around the ends like so. Oops, let's undo that. Let's zoom in. I can't zoom in further. So I think this part is also part of the ends. Okay, so we don't need to select everything, we just want the edges. So let's go and do some refining. Let's see if it can get better. Nope. I think we should go back to refine and make the brush a lot smaller. So we're going to leave it like this. So what we want to do is to add an empty layer, fill it so it can be 100% black, and click on done. Now we can deselect it and change it to, the blend mode, linear dodge. And just as we did before, we'll click right here and go to bevel. So this one, I think I'll blow it a lot. Done. So I'm going to erase it for some parts which I don't want it, which is erase it from here. Also, okay, yeah. So now let's add the highlight to this leg. So we'll click back on this layer, which is our subject. Click on select pixels. Click right here, add an empty layer. Done. So once done, you click on gradient. This is the gradient. We are not going to use this red. Let's go to this. Let's pick the color from the sky. So use your color picker tool. Pick on any orange color. Click right here. Okay. So now we can position it right where we want it. Beautiful. So nice. Click on done. I'm going to deselect it. We don't need a selection anymore. And should we change the blend mode to linear dodge? I think it's too much. Let's try overlay. I think overlay is not working, so let's leave it at linear dodge. Reduce the opacity. Okay, so this is the before and the after. So this is the overall before and the after. I think it adds a lot to it. So as you can see, this blue light, the reason why I want to enhance it so that it can illuminate our subject a bit, to have that cool two kind of lighting effect. I really like that. So what we want to do with this is to click right here again, click on our subject, going to duplicate it. Done. and then we click on brightness. Good. On 0 minus 100% to make it fully black. Alright, let's go to linear dodge, and you know the code, bevel. This time the angle will be facing the top and the color will be blue. Let me just pick a blue from here. Okay, so this one is going to be less blue, very less, and the size is going to be really small. I think I should make it a bit brighter, a bit lighter, so I will reduce the saturation. Okay, so let's go back to distance, blur, let's leave it at 1 as well. This could vary based on your project size, so take note of that. Okay, and now we are going to be doing the same thing for the wings. So let's click on our layer drop down and think this is the wings layer. So what I want to do first of all, as you can see, I can just add like edges highlight to this because these are feathers and I think the light will penetrate through them. So what we're going to be doing is this. So go back to your layer drop down, duplicate this wings layer like so, then click done. After that, you click right here and click on select pieces, and then you click on the FS and go to stylize, then click on threshold. So I'm going to make the threshold low to pick some highlights. Okay, this is what I want. I just want this wings area, this area. So I'm just going to make it okay. So let's try making it smoother. Right, I think I should make it a bit more now. This could work, sure. So we want the bright side, especially these portions of the wings, these feather edges. So we're going to remove the fore color, which is the black, and set it to 0. Then while this back color, which is the white, we are going to change it to an orange like so. I'm going to play with some blade modes to see which one works best, and right now you are free to click OK. So I don't think we need the selection right now again, so let's just deselect it. So click right here and then deselect. So now I'm going to remove it from the top sections using our eraser tool. So you click on your layer drop down, go to the top, and here is our eraser tool. So let me try play with the size. I think I'm maybe hardness 0. So the erasing can be soft, so just erase right here like so. Think okay, so I'm going to erase this side as well, even this side too, and same thing from the other portion. So this looks alright. Now this is for the fun part. We're going to be changing the blend mode. Let's try linear dodge. Okay, let's try overlay maybe. I think linear dodge looks better, so let's go back to linear dodge. So linear dodge, maybe if we reduce the opacity a bit, yeah, definitely looks better. I think even more. Okay, so this is being the before and here's the after. You can see the changes. So now let us add this blue highlight as well. So you know the process, just as we did before. We go to the one layer, we'll duplicate it. Okay, as you can see, we have used over our layer limits. So what we can do in this case, maybe we can mesh something down. Let me see. Okay, I think I can mesh this one down. So I'm just going to mesh it down. And let's try and add the highlight. So we'll duplicate this one. Done. Go to brightness. Put it -100. Click OK. And set it to linear dodge. So now let's go to effects. Go to basic and bevel. So I'll use blue. I think I have blue right here. The distance, make it really low. The blur, low as well. The color, so let's try and make it a bit brighter. I think less saturated will work even more. Okay, you can always try and play with it to see what works best for you, but for me I think I'll stop at this point and I'll click done. So here's the before and the after, not bad. So I'll reduce the strength, which is the opacity, and yeah, I think I'm moving forward. So what I want to do right now is to add highlight to the rock, to the cliff is standing on. But before then, I would love to add some shadows, but we can't add any other further layer. So let's mesh things down as well. I think I'll mesh this one with the wings, because I don't think I would want to go back and do some refining on that. So I'll just mesh it down. But I advise before you mesh, make sure you save the project and duplicate that project. If you know you might do some shadings later. So you mesh down. Okay, I think I'll do the same thing for the Kong. Mesh down. I'll mesh down. And this one I'm going to mesh down as well. I think we have enough layer to work with. Okay, I'll still have to mesh this one down. Okay, is there anything else we can mesh down? Alright, let's keep on working. When we get to the point, we will know. Okay, so this is the cliff. So we want to add some highlights to it as well. So let us duplicate it first. Duplicate. Done. Click right here. Click on select pieces. Since the lighting will be affecting the rock at the top, we're going to effects, stylize, and threshold. Okay, you get the point now, right? So let's just increase this a bit now. Take it a bit to the down. Okay, I'm talking about the threshold, so let's increase it. So we only want it at the top side. Okay, for the smoothness, I think we should increase it, and this is fine enough. So I'm just going to click on done. Now let us deselect it. So you click right here and then you deselect. So this is the before and the after. Of course, we're not going to leave it like this. Let us change the blend mode. Will overlay work. Let's use linear dodge. I think we have used linear dodge a lot. So just try and reduce the opacity to have a bit of natural look. I think this one works, right? So this is the before, the after. I think it's better than before. So I'm going to erase it from this part since the conch is blocking the light from there. I think I did it too much. Okay. This is beautiful. Okay. So now let us add some shadows. So you just create. I want to mesh this one down. Okay. So create an empty layer. Done. Pick a brush, a paint tool. Can make it a bit darker or whatever you want. The size, the flow, can increase it a bit. The size, make it smaller. Done. And now change the blend mode of this new layer to multiply. Then just brush around. When doing this, just be careful. Take more time to do this more accurately if you want a really better result. Okay, I think this one is okay. So this is the before and the after, not bad. And now let's add some interesting stuff. So let me just mesh this one down. Okay, let's add some interesting stuff. I think I'm going to add some shades, I think that will be pretty interesting. Okay, there's one thing left for us to do, which is the eyes. As you can see from my original artwork, the eyes are red, so let's just copy that. So to do that, first of all, we'll go above our subject layer. I think this is it. Yeah, we'll create an empty layer like so. Done. And you go right here and use your circle selection tool. Just make an ellipse like this. Okay, then fill it with something a light red. So let's just increase the red just a little bit light red. Okay, after that you click on done, then you come over here to gradient. So click on click right here and then gradient. Let me just do it from the beginning. You click right here, click here and choose a radial type. So make sure it's in the edges. So you click right here and use reverse. As you can see, we have it in the edges. So this color, we're going to make it red. So we're going to widen it a bit. Make sure it's in the middle. I think you can also drag the sides to the left, to the right. So let's take it a bit to the left. think I'm going to leave it. Okay. This looks better. So now I'm going to click OK. And now we're going to add some glues to it. So what we're going to do, make sure the selection is still active, or you can just leave the selection off and duplicate this layer and go to brightness, make it 0 minus 100%, click on done and set the blend mode to linear dodge and go to effects and basic, then click on glow. I think linear dodge is too much, so let's go back. Let's use screen and go to effects and glow. Yeah, screen works. Let's delete it. Let's just duplicate it and let's not change the blend mode. Let's click on effects and glow. Okay, this is what I want. So we're going to brighten it, change the saturation. Exactly. I think this is what I was hoping for. You can change the blur. Okay, so I think this is good. Done. So let's measure it down, and this is the reason why I didn't use any blend mode, because if we had to use a blend mode, let's say screen, we then measure it down, it will turn everything else to screen. Okay, if we go to, it will reduce the kind of, just try it yourself, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to undo it. Okay, I like it like this. Right, so let's measure it down. We'll leave it in a normal blend mode and we'll mesh down. So you click right here and then you mesh down. So we have it in one layer. Now we can transform, make it smaller, fit it to the eyes. Like so. Yeah. Okay, done. We duplicate it, click on transform. I think this one I'm going to rotate a bit. Yep. Okay. So but right now you just feel like it's just floating there. There's no effect to it. So I think I'm going to mesh these two together. So we have them as one. So one thing I love to do is this: go to the bottom layer, create an empty layer below both eyes, then select your paint tool or your brush tool, whatever you want to call it. Pick a color, a red color, bright one. You can reduce the saturation if you want, and make sure the flow and opacity is 100. The size could vary, but make it small. Just paint around like so. I think I did too much there. Okay, and set the blend mode. First of all, we'll send it to overlay, so you can reduce it. You can spend your time more to refine it a bit. As you can see, I did an SS here. think I should reduce it even more. Okay, I think this one is good. So now we add another empty layer, but this time we add it above it. So empty layer here, pick a bright color this time, and this time you increase the size a bit and just click once on this side, once on this side. Change the blend mode to screen. That's how you do it. So reduce the opacity if you think it's too much. Here's the before and the after. That's not bad. So I can measure this to the subject, so we can have a lot more layer to work with. Okay, let's undo that. Let's pick our marquee selection tool to prevent furthermore mistakes. Alright, now what we want to add is to add the chains, just like you might notice in the original artwork. So let's add the chain layer above the subject, which is this guy. Click right here, click on photo layer and on photo library. So I'll use this chain, click on add and make it smaller right here. So I don't think I'll spend more time positioning the chain, but I'll just give you the idea. So I want to use this one at the middle. Is it okay? Let's use this one in front. I just make it smaller like so. Position it wherever you think it will looks better. I think I'll leave mine right here. Done. And pick your eraser tool. You can just erase. I think I'll make the brush smaller, increase the hardness. Just erase these unwanted ones. Okay, so you don't have to stop with this shape. You can come over here to warp and just position it, like do some fun stuff with it until you get the right the right direction you like. But for me, I'll just leave it at normal. I just want to show you how I did it. I think I'm going to transform, rotate it a bit like so. And one more thing, to add more interesting stuff to this, you can come over here to your lasso selection tool. You can just go right here, click on transform. You can bring it out like this, so we give the effect like the chain just got broken. Done. You can pick another one, transform, you can take it to the top, or so yeah, or just rotate it anyhow you want it. Just be creative with it. Done. Okay, so you can add another one at the side and change the direction and the flow, but I'm not going to do that. I'll just duplicate this one and click on transform. I'll flip it. I'll just do like this. You can change it, make it vary with from the original one, so it won't seem as if it's been copied. And the best way to do that is to use the warp tool, which I just showed you before. So I'm just using some lazy tool to do it. Okay, click on done, and I'll just mesh it down, and I think To match the color, what I did was to use select pieces, add an empty layer above them, and I used the gradient. So I use a linear gradient. So you can set it into a linear type like so, but the color, this one right here, this for color, you make it 100% and change it to maybe the one at the rocks on top, while this other one, change it to the one at the bottom like so. So this is the easiest way to blend it. Done. So let's deselect that and set its blend mode to overlay and reduce the opacity. Okay, so this is the before and the after. We're going to measure it down, before and the after. That looks cool. So we're going to add some highlight. As you can see, some red light stuff coming from the bottom. You know, the one we add, this ones we add. So we're going to assume they are light coming from the bottom. So which means we'll have some highlights on this sheen. So let us duplicate them and go to adjustment, click on brightness. Yeah, make it minus 100% black. Then click on done. And now, you know the blend mode. We use linear dodge like so and click on effects, then bevel. This time we'll point the direction, which is the angle, to fix downwards. The blur, we're going to reduce it a lot, or maybe we'll make it 0. The distance will reduce it as well, and the color will pick red. So I'll pick a pretty much saturated one like so. Okay, I think I want to blow it with just one, and that's fine enough. Click on done. You can just play with it. And now let's add some more shades to it. So I'll click right here, add a photo layer and a photo from a photo library. So this is the one I want to add next. Click on it, click on add. So I'll rotate this one. This one should be coming from the neck. Move it like this. Done. Click on warp. Just play with it. Can do more fun stuff to it. Like so. You know, you get the point. I'm just leading you through. You can make it even more. I'm just doing this just to show you as a reference. As you can see, the original artwork I did was way cooler. So I will duplicate it, but I advise don't duplicate it, just transform, warp, flip it to the side. So don't do it like this. You can vary it, like use the warp again and make it look different from the first one. Make it a lot different. So I think I'm going to leave it like this. If it was my original artwork, I will work on it a little more. And as we did before, we're going to blend the colors using the gradient. So let us click on select pieces, we'll add an empty layer above it. Okay, and click right here and go to gradient. So I think let us merge both layers together, this one and this one, so we can work on them together. We'll just merge it down like so, and from here we can click on select pixels, click on the empty layer and go to gradient. Okay, I would love to take this one right here to the middle and just click on it. Click right here to add. You can take it up to remove. You can click on it to add. So I'm going to pick the color from the skin. Okay, just position it like so. Think I'm good to go. Click on done. Let's deselect it and change the blend mode to overlay like so. Reduce the opacity a bit. Done. Okay, let's measure it down so we have it as one layer. Let's duplicate it to create that kind of fun highlight effect. Go to brightness. Done. Set it to linear dodge like so. Come to effects and bevel. So we already know the settings. You can see. Click on done. So I'm going to erase it from the top part. I don't think it's going to reflect that far. So the brush size, I'll make it bigger and the hardness smaller to give it a soft kind of brush. Okay, so this is it before and after. So let's mesh it down, mesh down all the shade layers. Well, first of all, mesh this light to the bottom shade to prevent that kind of errors again. Okay, now we can mesh it down. Alright, so now what we want to add, a ring to the neck, so it will feel like the chain is actually attached to the neck. So add an empty layer, so it should be below the chain. So click on the subject, add an empty layer, a photo layer. I think I'll use this one. Add. So I'll flip it. Okay, just make it. Okay, let us reduce the opacity to see through. Alright, now you can go to warp, and from this area you can take it like this. You can just make it to look fitting over more. Okay, I'll leave mine like this and reduce from this. So the brush is too big. Let us undo that. Let's go to the brush size, reduce it and increase the hardness. So we can brush right here. Okay, and I think I'll go to warp again and take this even more to the bottom. Take this side right here. Okay, click on done. Now make the brush soft, the brush bigger and reduce the hardness. So I can brush right here. make it smaller. Let's increase the opacity to see how it's going. It's going fine. Okay, now what you can do at this point, you can reduce the saturation. Good. Click on done. You can also go to curves, take and make it darker, and yeah, click on done. So I'll add another sheen, another ring at the end. So I'll be fast on this one because you have already seen the process. Add the photo layer, photo library. I'll use this one. Click on add. I'll rotate it to the side, transform it. I'll put it in both ends, but okay, click on extra, click on lock aspect ratio so we can make it longer and thinner. So this is it. Click on done. Use the brush tool to erase from the edge at the top, or maybe from this side as well, so you can feel like, you know, the skin is hairy, has a lot of hair. Feel like get some on the fur. So this one I'll make it black and white. Now make it a lot darker. Think I'll add some reds to it and yellow. So you can spend more time on this one. I don't think I'll spend that much time on it again because this has already been a very long tutorial. So I'll duplicate it, duplicate, transform, and put it at the other side. Flip it, okay. You can adjust it. As you can see, I did a really bad job on this one. You can just feel free to play with it, make it suit your taste. Done. Yeah, so I will measure it down, measure both down. And now for the pretty much last step, I'll call it, I'm going to add some floating rocks. Okay, this one we're going to add it just beneath the sheen layer. Click right here, add a photo layer from photo library. Just pick these scattered rocks, just position it. Okay, first of all, put it at the top. We're going to pick from it, put it at the top here, and go to your toolbar, use your lasso selection tool. Just draw around one, click on transform, position it right here or pretty much anywhere you want it. You can rotate it anyhow you want it, just feel free to do whatever you want. I think I'll put it right here. Done. Can pick another one, transform, put it right here. I think I'll flip it. Yeah, done. Can just keep on picking, transform, just put it right here. Feel free to do whatever you want. Transform. Okay, I don't want to spend a lot more time on this. put it right here. So I'm just going to pick up the last one. I'm going to pick up the last one just for the sake of the tutorial. But using your free time, you can just do more creative stuff with this. You can spend more time with it. So I'm going to select the others because we don't need them anymore. Okay, make sure the mode, you click on it until the plus icon appears. Now you can add to the selection and just click on clear, and that is it. So let's just adjust this, but before that, let us deselect the selection. So we'll go to adjustment, we'll click on curves. Okay, I think I'll darken it even further. Done. So this is the before and the after. So I'm going to duplicate it, set the to linear dodge. Okay, before we set it to linear dodge, we should go to brightness, make it -100, set it to linear dodge. Now we can come over here to effects and bevel. Okay, I think I'll change the direction to fix the original sunlight, and the color, I'll pick an orange from the source. Done. So I will erase it from this side, erase it from the side, and yeah, this is pretty much it. So if you want to add a bit more things at the background, you can add some more elements at the background. So for example, I have an image of a Godzilla, so here's it. You can add it, make it smaller, it's not our subject. Oops. Click on lock aspect ratio, make it smaller, put it right here or anywhere you want, and yeah, play with the levels. I want to undo everything, take it to the top, to the down, add some reds to it, add some yellows. Okay, you can add other elements like I'll just go to the background, and so I'll delete this layer, add a dragon, make it smaller, just put it right at the background. Click on saturation, take down the original green color, and just as we did before, you click on done, and you can reduce the opacity to blend it more to the background. You can come over here, so let me just mesh this down. and add a steampunk shape to it. So this is the one I'll add. Put it at the background as well. I'm going to get rid of this shadow. And just as we did before, go to curves, reduce the opacity of course, and now we are done. So what you want to do is to click on done, save, save it to gallery, click OK, and from here you can go to Snapseed or Lightroom, anyone you want, but for me I prefer Snapseed. I love using Snapseed a lot. So let me see what I have as my last edit. Nope. So let's manually edit it. You can come to tone image, increase the brightness, go to contrast, reduce, increase it. Just play with some sliders right here. Ambience, I think I'm going to increase it. The highlight, yeah, increase it. Shadows, take it down. No, I'll increase it. I would love to increase it before, after. One, you can increase it as well. Done. It doesn't have to end there. You can go to curves, increase the reds, click on channel, go to greens, you can take it down or take it up. I think go to blues, take it down, or I think okay, before, after, not bad. So you get the idea. You can play with other sliders, get your preferred results, and yeah, you just made a cool photo manipulation. So I'll just stop here. Thank you very much for watching. It has been a really long one. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.